Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, folks. How's everybody doing out there tonight? Just thought I'd play something a little presidential. Um, if you're like most people that I know, there are two things that have been foremost on your mind the last few days. One, unfortunately, has been the COVID-19 pandemic, and in the current ongoing presidential election, yet to be decided, does appear to be trending to Joe Biden. I know for some people that's a lot of people would be pleased with that, and I know a lot of people would not be. So I'm not here to praise the pros and cons of going in either direction. My reasoning for coming out here, by the way, I'm Ed McKinley. I'm just another member up here in the Boston area. And I like to come out here a couple nights a week, try to kind of give Alan Collins a little bit of a break. I don't think Alan really actually does take breaks, but he could be doing something else at any rate. So that's neither here nor there. Um, I'm not here to sing the praises. I'm here with the exception of where and how it may or may not relate to in terms of either benefit or detriment to what it is we're trying to do here with a massive predatory and corrupt student loan system, kind of choking the financial and other parts, components of our lives out here. So, it's very safe to presume that at least for the immediate future, a few days, not a lot of people in Washington are going to be sitting around giving a tremendous amount of thought to student loan cancellation, legislation, etc. Not that I don't think they ought to be, but let's face it. This election and whatever may come with it is going to suck an awful lot of air out of the room. We also need to take a little bit of time and begin to be thoughtful as we shift from an election cycle into what might very possibly be an executive administration transition. I'm not aware that there are going to be any really major changes in the legislature at this point. Don't quote me on that, could be wrong, but it would seem that we will be more or less in the same configuration, give or take some seats here and there. But the big change appears, and again, I know it's not official. Looking at the trends and the numbers tonight, you don't have to be Albert Einstein to figure out that this is likely going to be a Biden victory. So we need to think in terms of how can we make that work for us. And again, I'm not discounting or invalidating the reality that not everybody here voted for Joe Biden. Not everybody here is going to be very happy about Joe Biden. I think we should call him Joe Biden, actually, instead of Joe Biden. Joe Biden. Never mind. But we got to play with, we don't have, as a whole group, as a subsection of the population, that is, student loan borrowers who have been pretty much, extremely compromised. If you look through this group and you read the comments and you talk to people here, this group must remain nonpartisan in order for us to function in a cohesive way. I know that doesn't mean that individual members don't have strong personal feelings and thoughts about, who's in office, who's not in office, and all those things are related. And I don't have any problem with that. But I'm hoping that now more than ever, because I think there's going to be some increase in emotional reactions to what's happening politically in the country, that as a group, we must strive to stay neutral politically as much as possible, and to continue not to allow divisive politics to split us up, because that pretty much would prevent us from having any chance of reaching our objectives. And that's not all by accident, folks. I'm really beginning, I don't know about anyone else here, I'm really getting tired of the partisan bullshit to begin with. Yes, I have feelings about what I think is the right or the better way to go about certain things. You may not agree with them, you may have very strong feelings about the other way, but damn it. We can't continue to beat each other's throats, especially here. So I'd like to, I'm keeping it brief tonight because I think that a lot of people are likely, I don't know, I'm kind of a political junkie. Most activists are. Many of you may be as well. I'm still kind of caught up in the political drama, if so to speak. But I'm really kind of taking a look inside too and thinking about, to myself, we can't afford to take a lot of time off here. We can't afford to snooze and sleep and stop fighting entirely because of the complexities of issues that are taking place nationally, whether it be the presidential election, the pandemic, who's going to win the Super Bowl, whatever it might be. We can't afford to do that. But Washington is kind of hitting a pause button and focusing on this election thing. And I guess I'm kind of, for myself, thinking we need to hit a little bit of a pause button just to be kind of thoughtful about where we're going to focus our resources. I also ask people to take another look inside, a deep look inside. There are many of you who I know watch these live streams sort of regularly, who are pretty committed folks, who are very active and chipping in, either by your actions and some even with a little bit of money sometimes to help keep Alan going. And I know that none of us have unlimited resources, but we have almost unlimited potential for the size of our membership. I say it all the time, and I'll say it again because it's just a fact, and it's a fact that will not go away just because we choose for it to. The biggest strength we have by far is a cohort of approximately 45 million people. Now there's about 16,000 here. And that's a lot of people. That's actually large by most political Facebook standards. Many, I should say. But it's not enough people to move the giant boulder, which is this predatory lending system, all the way to the end of the driveway where it needs to go so that the big truck can come pick it up and haul it away to the dump where it belongs. So I'm asking people who see this live stream tonight, if you're watching live or if you're watching a recorded version later, to take a look inside, to do a deep gut check, and make a decision. And I hope that decision you will make will be to create the time and the willingness to commit yourself to some standard of activity here with student loan justice. Now, look, we're not some kind of an organization like a franchise or something here that, outside of this group, you have to do everything by our rules, our standards, and so on, or you can't play anymore. Yeah, sometimes we do monitor the group sometimes just to try to keep, people from killing each other. And trying to keep people on track if possible. But if you don't, if you're not, if you think you have some ideas or some ways you'd like to approach this other than what we're doing, I don't have a problem. Nobody here that I'm aware of would even have a complaint if you want to start your own group, of some sort. Take charge of the chapter in your state and build off of that. But at the very least, we continue to try and present opportunities and activities for folks to be active as individuals, as small groups, or as a group of the whole. And so that's my message tonight. And like I said, I'm keeping it brief. I'm exhausted. I've also been volunteering in some time in some state political campaigns. And yeah, like I said, I'm a little bit of a junkie. But I'll tell you, by the way, some things like that I do, some of the activities that I get involved in open tremendous amounts of doors for me to gain access to and communication with some of the higher up political figures in my neck of the woods. I really recommend folks that wherever you live, that you find a way to plug in to the local political scene, because it empowers and amplifies your voice dramatically. A congressman, for example, is far more likely to pay attention to someone like me, who he knows is enmeshed with and connected to many of the people who are their most ardent supporters, their workers, the people who they count on to help them get reelected. So it's a big deal. It's not a small thing. And I know people's time availability varies. Some people literally may not have time to do some of this stuff. But I can tell you, even just standing out with signs one day a week or something when there's a campaign going on, sending some postcards, whatever, you don't have to become a full-time part of the candidate structure. But to have some visibility and to know people and to be known, and I know I'm kind of going off the track with this, has a tremendous amount of benefit when you're trying to get something done. So I'm asking people here tonight to do a gut check, make a decision. If you're already with us in terms of being an active participant, thank you. It's really helped. It's really made a difference. Alan will talk probably as soon as tomorrow evening about some of his thoughts of where direction we may be wanting to head. Perhaps the election will have been finalized by that time, which will have some impact on where we decide to proceed. And so I'm hoping people will, take in some of this information, listen to Alan in the evening. Believe me, people who listen to Alan Collins live streams in the evening ultimately know this issue inside out and backwards, and are able to present an irrefutable argument to anybody who is worth arguing with. It's time well spent. So take a gut check. If you're on the bench and decide, you want to get in the game, we are closer. We have moved the ball, or that rock in the driveway, further than we ever have before. We do, in fact, have a lot of reasons to be very positive about where we're going and what we're doing. The biggest obstacle we have is recruiting more of the other individuals out there who are suffering like you are. Maybe they don't know we're here. Maybe they don't know what hit them yet. So, in my opinion, we sort of have an obligation to let people know what's going on with them and their loans. Because they're probably, in some cases, they don't talk to anybody about their loans. They think they did something wrong. So we need to reach out to people. And then we need to let them know we're here. And then we need to let them decide if they want to fight for themselves or if they want to roll over. It's something we all have to figure out at some point. So that's it. I'm Ed McKinley. I'm up here in the Boston area. This is studentloanjustice.org. Live stream Thursday, November 5th, 2020. And with all of what is going on out in the world, really, with regarding the pandemic and other challenges that are going on, I'm hoping and wishing that everyone here is safe and well. And I'll see you out here again soon. So thank you.